I'm Fred Valles. I'm here at the Google campus in Mountain View where we just had the Google Marketing Live keynote. We brought together a panel of experts who are going to give you their takes on what was announced today and what it means for advertisers.
So today at Google Marketing Live, no surprise to anyone probably, AI was mentioned a whole lot. There are some really interesting things that Google is doing, especially around like the data warehouse, the data storage, that sort of thing. I'm excited to see that. I think that might be a good option, especially for like smaller, medium-sized businesses who have their data stored in a number of different places.
One of the announcements I'm most excited for is around the creative AI and asset optimization. I need to have a lot of brand guidelines and approval. I think Google's really taking a step forward to making sure that marketers are still able to give better inputs to begin with, and Google's just taking it to the next step and then being able to use those even outside of the ecosystem as well.
I think this year I'm most excited about all the creative AI that's coming, the things we're going to be able to do for our clients to make their creative better, what we're going to be able to do with images, how we're going to be able to swap out backgrounds. We're going to really enhance the images because one of the statistics they gave is creative is one of the most important things you can do for campaigns.
I think we're still in the very early stages of using generative AI to write ad copy, to build creative assets, to understand your data. And a lot of small advertisers don't have a ton of creative assets. You're lucky if you get a couple of photos from them. And so just taking those photos and creating animations from it, or creating a bunch of different variations from it, I think that to me that's kind of what stuck out as super cool.
I think it's obvious that Google is really doing a lot more focused on image-based searches, video-based searches, because user behavior really has switched over to that in a lot of ways. You see a lot of people, running, especially younger generations, running to like TikTok and that to start searches. And I think Google is really trying to stay in front of that and combat that by moving away from more of primarily a search keyword-driven thing. So that really came through strong today.
Using something like Gemini for search, you can prompt the system with some information about what kind of product or service you're selling and ask it more about who your customer persona might be, what things are important to them in their life, and how your product relates to that. Just try to understand what their day-to-day life might look like so you can kind of speak to that in your copy and your creative, but also in the way that you build your audience personas, your audiences of who you're targeting, and put the right message in front of the right consumer.
The most interesting part of GML that I saw this year was Shaquille O'Neal and the fireside chat with him. I thought that was really interesting. What I really liked what he said was anything that he invests in, he doesn't micromanage it. So I think that's true whether it's investing in AI or anything. It's just he kind of lets it sit, lets it ride, and doesn't make rash decisions. And I think that's the same to be said about AI in general. When we're making a bunch of changes to campaigns, we kind of have to let it do its job and trust in it a little bit more and lean into it.
I think the key takeaway from this Google Marketing Live would be Google is leaning heavily into AI in ways that are more than just keyword-based for searches. And I think it's really important to see that that's not just Google driving it. I think consumer behavior has shifted as well.
I'm also looking forward to some of the transparency and reports that are coming to Performance Max. It's just, I really like to see what they're innovating, what they're looking for.
They've implemented a lot of updates to Performance Max to help us understand how it's performing, to make it a little bit less of a black box and use that data to build deeper strategies, build new campaigns. And so I'm excited to see them continue down that road and introduce additional features to Performance Max, like asset level reporting, so you can see how specific assets are doing, and it's something we'll definitely jump into as quick as we have it.
But for sure, this idea of making sure that our tracking is good, that we are collecting that first-party data. I think obviously there's data that you input, and then also even on just the measurement tracking side, the conversion tracking side, that stuff really is crucial to get right so that your data is right, so then the AI can make the right decisions off of those things. And I think if you're not really obsessing over those, you are going to be left behind in the future of Google Ads.
From the creative side, it's just going to continue to get smarter, and we as marketers have, I should say we have no choice but to use it honestly, and we need to become more efficient and provide it better input so that it does become more efficient over time.
If you don't feed the data system, the right data to the system, it's going to output garbage. Like Fred says, garbage in, garbage out. So feed the right inputs and you'll get the right outputs, and you'll be able to succeed.
So that's the roundup from Google Marketing Live 2024. Thank you for watching, and be sure to leave comments about your reactions to this year's event.